I have to admit, I'm a little bit annoyed. Today, me and my daughter were moving to Evergreen Harbor, more specifically Port Promise, because it was pretty cheap, especially with a roommate, and we are very, very broke. Unfortunately, when we arrived, we learned just why it was so cheap. The entire neighborhood is absolutely filthy and disgusting. On top of that, our new roommate didn't even bother to greet us at the door, nor did she end up offering to actually help us unpack. And of course, my daughter got distracted by her and tried to talk and make conversation with her, leaving me to do all the unpacking of our admittedly not a lot of stuff. Anyway, you may be wondering who this is, and this is in fact Everett Mendoza. Now, he here is an adult sim, and like I said, he's feeling tense, partly because of the unnatural environment. Ugh, the air feels so gross and the land feels so unnatural. Why can't this neighborhood be a bit more green? So like I mentioned, he has a daughter, and he's just moved here, and so right now his current aspiration is to be just the best parent he can, you know, be for his daughter, raising her as a single dad. Meanwhile, trait-wise, he is family-oriented, ambitious, and a new trait, Green Fiend. These Sims are happiest when living on Green Street and will continuously work towards making their environment more eco-friendly. So yeah, he is not, the happiest or the best, but I think what he's gonna do is he's gonna go downstairs and try to make polite conversation with our new roommate, to maybe try to smooth things over. If you're wondering who I go by Hydrael here, and I am a teenager who just graduated 10th grade. I like telling stories, and so I play a lot of The Sims because it allows me to tell stories. I also like doing builds in The Sims and making more discussion-based videos. And I would like to formally welcome you guys to Eco Lifestyle Part 1. I am a little bit annoyed, guys. Today, my new roommates were coming here, which, by the way, the only reason I decided to get roommates was because I needed money. And first of all, they act super passive-aggressive to me, and now I'm just trying to enjoy watching my soap operas when this little girl comes up to me and starts pestering me and asking me about my day. And it's just really annoying. So yes, this is the roommate, Renee Brewer. Um, she is actually a maker. She wants to be a master maker. This sim wants to become an expert at fabrication, and therefore, she does reach her goal. She gets the Muse of the Maker trait. Master makers have learned all the tricks necessary to fabricate items at a reduced cost. So this is Renee. She is a maker, a slob, and a freegan. Two of these are new traits. Maker. These Sims become happy when making things. They become sad when it's been too long since completing a project on a fabricator, candle making station, juice fizzer, or woodworking table. You do not receive negative effects from crafting or repair failures. Freegan. These Sims reject consumerism and prefer to reduce wasteful spending by any means. They enjoy finding reused or thrown away goods and foods. In fact, they have the best luck at finding the highest quality treasures in dumpsters. They may become tense or uncomfortable if they spend too much time earning or spending simoleons. And then finally, slob. Yeah, so she is a maker. She is likes digging through trash to get her stuff. But right now she isn't getting a lot of work simply because she's broke and she doesn't actually have a lot of materials. She has a candle making station, but that's about it. And she really needs a recycler for, to get her bits and bobs so she can actually make candles, which is, severely lowering what she can actually make. So she is a little bit annoyed. She's also feeling tense because as a freegan, she isn't a big fan of all the new purchases that sort of come with new roommates. So bad deal. Purchasing a new object is frivolous and wasteful. Freegan Sims prefer to find items for free or at least at a steep discount. So that's sort of where she is at. Now, she is not technically owns the house, I will say, but yeah, this doesn't actually own the house. Uh, if she did, it would probably be a lot more grunge looking, a little bit more that aesthetic, because she actually likes the industrial environment. It allows her to find better things in the dumpster, And yeah, the air can get sort of bad at times, but like, that's just a mild inconvenience at most. Uh, and because of that, she has some enemies too, along with some friends. But yeah, this is the house. It actually technically belongs to Renee's relative, except once Port Promise sort of let itself go, the relative decided to move on out. And because Renee didn't mind the industrial vibes, she moved in. And she was paying the bills and everything, but yeah, it's not technically her house. But yeah, this would be a perfect time to do a little bit of house tour just really quickly. So in the front, we have a little two balcony areas, a rooftop, a ladder leading up to here, which is just a small zone. But yeah, so first we have this big door. And once you head in, you're greeted into a pretty rundown, small looking kitchen. You'll notice that the decorations are actually very sparse in this house because she doesn't like owning a lot. Then she has her own personal little workspace here. We only have a candle maker, and we don't really have anything else, and so it's a bit of a struggle finding work. Like I said, if you look, we are in fact broke. We have like 28 simoleons to the name. But yeah, this is supposed to be sort of her personal little maker workspace, and I'm hoping that we can eventually expand it and add more things like a fabricator and recycler to it as things go on. Next, we have our sort of living room slash computer area. So we have our computer and our Penguin TV, which was a struggle to get. Now, that is a story. So, if we look at Renee, you'll notice she has a scar on her cheek. And the reason is she was dumpster diving and ran into a very territorial raccoon. And long story short, they got into a bit of a squabble, and she ended up getting that permanent scar. Luckily, in that dumpster dive, she got away with the TV, so I mean, who's laughing now, raccoon? Who's laughing now? But from here, you go through here, and we have our, you know, bathroom, downstairs bathroom. We have the kids' room, which our new roommate didn't actually seem very happy that his kid got to, like, stay downstairs while the rest of them were upstairs. Speaking of upstairs, you just head up the stairs and to the hallway. We have our room, which is right here. We don't have much, just a bed, a rug, a dresser, and a balcony, which, I mean, like, it's an okay view. And then we, of course, have the bathroom, another upstairs bathroom, or a bathroom this time upstairs, and then finally our roommate's room, who has a door leading out to this much smaller balcony. And just to end it off, yeah, we have a dumpster in the back. So that is the house tour, but like I said, we're feeling tense, a little bit, annoyed from these people pestering us, not to mention, it seems like our new roommate here is, uh, really just trying to talk, and so we're just gonna pause the TV and do what sort of brings us joy, which is actually head over and dumpster dive now. I believe there is a dumpster right over here that we have easy access to, so we're gonna head over here and sort of see where that takes us. I don't really know what to feel. I thought the idea of living in a container home sounded really, really fun, but then we got here and the air was all smoggy and weird. Plus, the new roommate just sort of up and left when I was just trying to make conversation. But, yeah. So, this is our final sim. This is Luce Mendoza. She is Everett's daughter. And right now she's feeling uncomfortable because of the gross air. The air feels a little heavier than usual, but industry is booming. Now, she is an artistic prodigy. She likes to go around doing art. She has fun doing that. And as for her traits, she is erratic. And I would say if Luce was a kid, she's probably around 12 or 13 years old. So she's more like a tween, than an actual kid. But just something I wanted to point out is that if we look at her bedroom, it is actually the most decked out uh, bedroom in the house, and that's simply because Everett used the little money he had to sort of get her a bunch of stuff, and because, he's a good parent. So that's why she has the most decked out stuff. But she's gonna sort of, I think, go here into her new room and just start working on her homework. Um, and try to get that done at the very least. So, we are heading on our way to go do some dumpster diving. As you can see, we actually are in this sort of hot weather outfit because it's a little bit hot outside right now, and we are going to, first of all, maybe go here, and second of all, this usually fills, um, so I'm waiting for that. But, maybe, yeah, see, it fills up. And we're just gonna go ahead and try to dive for some deals. See what we can come across, see if we can sell anything. There is a recycler in an abandoned lot a little while ago that we can maybe use to get bits and bobs. But right now we're just sort of dumpster diving. And, yeah. Let's look at that animation again. See how that sort of turns out. Or is she gonna do it again? Nope. I think, yeah. So we ended up finding 5 simoleons. This dumpster must have been a wishing well in the previous life. Which isn't actually a lot, but a lucky find. Another Sim's trash is a freaking Sim's treasure. That's not a figure of speech. Renee just found an awesome item in the dumpster. Take that, retail industry and rampant consumerism. So, yeah, unfortunately we did not actually find much in this dumpster, so maybe we're gonna just go on and head home. Luce, on the other hand, she's working on her homework, and he, I believe, is maybe gonna try to go over and help her a little bit. See if we can help her with her homework just to get it done. Actually, is that an option we can do? Yeah. We're gonna go try to help her with her homework, which is such a cute little interaction Sims can do. We're not necessarily happy that she's on the bottom floor. We think it's sort of a safety hazard, like, what if something happens, and she's stuck downstairs, and we're stuck upstairs, and we don't really get a lot to do. But, I mean, what can we do? It isn't technically our house, so, I mean, there's not really much we can do. Our dumpster out back does not have anything, I believe, so I think what we're gonna do is maybe just, yeah, let's see, what can Renee go around and do? Maybe let's see if we can find some plants to collect soy wax from. Yeah, let's view this soy plant over here, see if maybe it's ready for anything. And then, once we're done with that, we can possibly head back to the dumpster, see if anything happens. Yeah, it says that no wax is accumulated on the plant, but, yeah. So, we are just sort of vibing here, and I think we might actually hear someone sort of approaching the house. So we're gonna head here for a bit, and hey neighbor, do you want to learn how you can make a difference? If you've got a minute, I'd love to chat with you about how your vote can help make this neighborhood more green. Yes, it appears we actually have a visitor, and so we are gonna go ahead and talk to this person and sort of, you know, get to know them, see who they are. Yeah, let's learn about being green. He seems to be in a sort of tense, just like us, except we're feeling a little bit more confident now from our teaching moment. But yeah, let's go ahead and learn about green voting. Because this dude, I don't know, he seems pretty cool. Welcome to Evergreen Harbor. My name's Knox, and, not to toot my own horn, but people regard me as a bit of an eco-master around these parts, and I utterly love talking about living the eco lifestyle. Did you know that you can vote on neighborhood action plans? They're called NAPs for short. If you want to help get our neighborhood to be a better eco-footprint, there are a lot of great options you can help me in supporting. Do it for the trees, so we can do green initiatives, eco-friendly appliances, and clean energy production. Voting is easy. You can vote at either a public voting board or even at your own mailbox. No excuses to dodge voting, just make sure you have enough influence points. I've given you a few to get started. So we're gonna say thank you for the info, And actually, it seems that Luce is going out here, and I want to maybe go ahead and ask about. Nope, let me see. And, yeah, let's go ahead and just ask about his day and be like, ooh, I like your little earplugs. Those are so cool. And we're like, actually, yeah, we were thinking how we got here, and how that isn't happy. Now, Renee here, she notices the commotion over here, and she is not happy. So, Knox has actually gone ahead and taken us over to the voting board pretty much right after Renee arrived, which is a little suspicious because Renee was actually quite, uh, rude to him when she came off, or when she came up back to the house, which is a little bit, strange, weird. Um, it appears that maybe she doesn't actually like him because, yeah, he is all about making the environment eco and green, and she is all about, making the environment industrial, or like keeping it industrial. But we're just gonna go ahead and just sort of get to know our new person. And so now we have learned that he is actually a green fiend, which is pretty cool. And it actually also seems like Miss Moira here has joined our conversation. But I personally think that, I don't know, I think he's a pretty cool dude. We're gonna just sort of chat about property values, be like, yeah, we moved here because it was just so cheap, but, you know, I was like, found out about what happened, or like, I found out exactly why it was so cheap as soon as I arrived. Talk about how sort of hot it is. Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and get to know him for a bit. Meanwhile, it seems that uh, Luce and Renee are sort of getting to know each other a bit. Um, I think Luce actually sort of thinks that Renee's a bit cool because Luce is very creative, and Renee's entire sort of gig is making things with her hand and being creative, and Luce just really finds that cool. And Renee is a bit surprised because, originally she thought this child was, annoying. Just sitting down and talking with her, she's actually really enjoying her company, uh, which I think is really cool. Oh, hold up, she's gonna be like, actually, excuse me, someone is at the door. And we're gonna go ahead and now do a learn about voting for profit. So, hey ya champ, I'm your new neighbor Bess. So you like money, right? Let's talk. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. It appears that both sort of Knox and Bess heard that someone new had moved into this cargo house. Uh, and they both were trying to preach their own different things to each other. Because, yeah, Bess and Renee are actually pretty good friends, even though the relationship part doesn't show it. They're both interested in sort of using the environment and the industrialness to make money, and they definitely get that, And she's like, "Hey, do you mind if I just tell you my sales pitch because yeah, Renee was like, yeah, he's not home. Knox dragged him away. And this is like, ugh. Can I just tell you my sales pitch and you can repeat it? And she's like, yeah, sure. So cool, cool, cool. Thanks for the ear, champ. Best Sterling at your service, and let's just say I'm a bit of an entrepreneur, you and me both. When it comes to business dealings, do you want to make some quick money fast? Of course you do. And I'm your go-to sim, so let's go get this bread. And while we get into dealing with some serious Samoans here, the more we need to start voting on the neighborhood action plans. Do you know about those? There are some prime initiatives from us moneymakers to vote for. Modern development, tech support, promote creative arts. But don't get caught napping on your right to vote. Get it? I've given you a few influence points for my personal stash to get you started. You can vote at the public voting board or the mailbox. So once again, we will tell her thank you for the info. We will make sure to rely it on, I would invest in your money-making scheme. Actually, ask about Day. Be like, I would totally invest in your money-making scheme. But right now, we just can't, I'm broke. That's why I got a new roommate type of situation. And let's just talk a bit, because we currently want some neighborhood stuff, and oh my heckin' god. It is currently moving super quickly, and I am not a fan of that, so I don't know why the heck she did that again. But, yeah, I am not a fan of sort of how quick this is moving, but if you look, we probably will end up actually having some neighborhood action plan voting things. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna be like, yeah, he actually went to the board, like Knox. Oh my, I mean, obviously, like do an impression of Knox, be like, oh, I don't like type of deal. Um, yeah. So it seems like Knox has actually gone ahead and taken his leave, but there is this sort of girl running towards us. Renee was like, he headed over to the board, and she's like, okay, that's where I'll take my like dealing. And so she's gonna come over here and be like, hey, 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 hey. Actually, like, I just came by your house. I heard you were by the board. Do you want to, like, let's talk about some stuff? Uh, and I think it's just gonna give us the same pop-up, but, for story purposes. And we actually have a new moodlet. Eco Lifestyle Eureka. Everett has been awoken to the value of living an eco lifestyle. You should take advantage of this and focus to do something green right now. So, I mean, thanks for the info. I'm not super interested in the money. Looking at this town and just sort of seeing what is going on, plus using inspiration or Nox, I think we've made up our mind. We are going to clean up Evergreen Harbor.